Hello, YouTube. Hello, YouTube. I mean, TikTok, and we're set. TikTok's already ready, actually, so I'm in good stead. Good word. Go. Let's try it. And then keeping an eye on the dog eating things outside. Oh, she drives me nuts. I'm tired today. But I will try not to yawn for a while. There we go. Welcome, everybody. The sun's kind of doing its thing a little bit. Welcome, TikTok. How are we doing today? I may even wipe the TikTok screen, although I don't think it needs it. No. Oop. That made it worse. Of course, it always makes it worse when I hate that. Whenever oh my God, whenever I do that, I decide to wipe the screen and then I get sun flares. All right, we're using the newest hanky. There we go. New hanky worked well. There we go. All right. Hello, TikTok. Hello, YouTube. Hello, Discord. All right. We are good here. Anyway, welcome, everybody. Thank you for the gifts already, Heather and others. I will say, the news feels slow today, surprisingly, for being like, the end of the world. Certainly the end of our democracy. But it does feel a little slow today. They're going to move this. Oh, it's still doing that, although I don't know whether that's the reflection of the... shake head. Shake head? Does it? Oh, because it flies around. Okay, thank you for that. That was Carrie. Let's try it one more time. Oh, that is better. Okay. Maybe I'll get a little Windex too, although the sun isn't too bad right now. Yes, well, the sun's glaring, except that it's the sun glare, but it was doing those streak. You can tell when the screen is a little oily because it's not just the glare, it does like a sunburst. Like a choomp, and it was doing the sunbursts. That's better now, I think, but it's a little annoying, but I'll live. Yes, so there's news, some important news, but it's not, like the government shutdown's big, but there isn't much to report about it, which is sort of interesting considering. Mike is not plugged in. Excellent point. I kind of had a feeling, that's funny. I was thinking, what am I forgetting? And I was like, no, TikTok's ready to go. I didn't have the mic plugged in. That could do it. Hang on here. All right, let's plug in the mic. There we go. All right, see how that is. All right, TikTok, now we got the good mic. And I'm going to fold my handkerchief again because it's driving me crazy. I like this handkerchief. I sort of got into these things when I was working in Argentina for a summer or a winter in graduate school. And we went skiing. You can ski in Argentina. It's decent skiing, actually. Bariloche. And some of the local kids would take their, mind you, this is new, so it's clean. They would take their kerchiefs. And I don't do this in the winter, although actually it's nice for added warmth. But you take the kerchief and I think they would roll it like this way, right? And they'd roll it. I'm going to show you just because I remember I was like, okay, that's really cool. This blonde Argentine would do it because the Argentines out there are blonde. And I think this is what. Oh, I know what they did. No, you know what they did? They took the diamond, and let me see here. I think they folded it in half and then folded it. Yes, you fold it in half and then you roll from the point. So you start from the point and you roll up. Okay, I'm going to show you. Like, in other words, this way, so that the point is covered. I will show you. So this is like the long way. See, we're showing John's tips from the Argentines. So you roll it. So now, and then he would twist it. So twist it and then wear it as a neck thing. But it was actually, I know it looks like you're in Pamplona. It was actually really comfortable. And you kind of pull it apart a little. Mine's a little too tight. You have to kind of pull it apart. But it was like a nice ski kind of thing. You'd have to see. But imagine like this, where it's a little bit fuller and wearing, like even right now, I don't need it with the summer, but it warms your neck. And again, you kind of twist it a little. It actually looked kind of cool. And again, under like a sweater or a shirt in the winter, it was a cool look. Anyway, kind of the fun stuff. Yeah, I was going to say it probably was a ski thing back in the 80s, but I like it. I may do that again because for the winter, actually with the winter, I would do it if I ever didn't have a scarf and I was cold. I would take it and put it on my neck to walk, and just having this part, the Europeans know this, just having this part of your neck covered makes things, it's a bandana, yeah. Just having that part of your neck covered keeps you so much warmer. It's funny because Americans, sure, we have scarves, but we don't really wear scarves the way Europeans do. Like the French will wear scarves when it's 60 degrees out, which is, I don't know, what would that be in Celsius, like 17 or something, 18 or whatever, 17 maybe. And they'll wear scarves because they say, well, you get on the metro and there's the breeze from the metro when the train arrives, and you can catch cold from the breeze. Put it around your head. Yes. If I'm ever going to Mecca as a woman. Anyway, welcome everybody. So I'm John Aravosis. This is my show. In addition to Argentine fashion tips, we talk about the latest news from America and Ukraine and the world. We're going to start, as always, with the American news, and then we'll talk a little bit about the war in Ukraine. As always, keep the gifts coming, guys. I do this for a living, so I very much appreciate your gifts on TikTok and YouTube. We also have the fun set of wish list viewer wishes, I think they call it. It's it's a TikTok function, a new thing on TikTok, these guys, where you can get different things depending on shake the head. Oh, somehow shake it. Okay, I didn't know. It tells me to shake it when it needs to be shaken, but I never quite figured out what that did. Thank you, Ivan. In any case, the viewer demands, do it, damn it. But when you buy certain things, I do certain things. We have a screaming goat, several varieties, a Halloween version, a regular version, and an oversized version. We have a Trump wig that I don for a minute. I sing happy birthday to you. That's another one. You can ask me anything-ish, meaning I reserve the right to veto, but there we go. Annie's buying the goat already. And then the last one is a United Nations story, because I had the worst experience ever working at the United Nations as real staff. But I will talk about it for pay. It was horrible. Annie, what are we doing goat-wise? I'm assuming Halloween, but it's up to you. Halloween. I know the Halloween. This is the new goat I got, which I love, my Halloween goat. And it's Halloween themed. It's really. They need to do other, like the Christmas one doesn't do Christmas songs, and it makes me so sad. We'll do one more. Look at the little face too, with the little witch's hat. So cute. Thank you for that, Annie. It's the best goat, but I wish the other ones had themes. The other ones, there's like a Christmas one, but it doesn't do Christmas songs. And I was like, come on, guys, how do you not do Christmas songs for the goat? Please. In any case, welcome. Let's get rolling here. Donald Trump shut down the government last night. The Republicans did. Republicans are trying to claim that basically there's no budget, so the government shuts down. The American fiscal year, which is the funding year, starts October 1st. It ends September 30th. Who knows why? It's a crazy choice, but that's when it goes. Republicans run the House. Republicans run the Senate. Republicans run the presidency. They did not pass the budget this year, and they should have. The appropriations bills that fund the government, they wanted Democrats to basically go along with their proposal to just keep the government open, and Democrats said no. Why? Two reasons. One, and this one, by the way, this is one I did a TikTok video today. TikTok is, censoring my videos. What a surprise. Nothing new with TikTok. But I did one video today that I didn't even know this until I heard it today. And I had to look it up because I was like, get out of here. And again, it goes to sort of Democrats and their messaging on this stuff. Did you know that one of the things the Democrats were demanding, thank you, Oklahoma, thank you, running. One of the things the Democrats are demanding is that language be put. They want to do a continuing resolution, the Republicans, right? Where they want to get rid of that person, TikTok mods. That one gets blocked. They want to do a continuing resolution that keeps funding the government at the current level. And Democrats said, and I literally just heard the argument today for the first time, and frankly, Democrats should do a better job. Democrats said, well, last time we did this in March, we continued funding the government at the same level. And what did you do? You rescinded $14 billion or $15 billion for USAID, for U.S. foreign aid. We voted to keep funding the government at the current level, and you decided to unilaterally kill $15 billion that was going to keep people alive around the world. You can't. Now, the Supreme Court's letting him do it so far, but he really can't. Under U.S. law, the Congress appropriates the money. The president has to spend it if Congress appropriates it. He can't just say no. Trump is saying no. So Democrats are saying in part, hello. Oh, that's a fun one. Thank you, Oklahoma. I love that one. So Democrats are saying in part, last time we went with you and gave you a continuing resolution that kept the government open, and you went back on the deal. The deal was we're going to keep funding at the current level. And you said, you know what? I know that's the legislation we passed, but we're just going to let Donald Trump kill all the money anyway. Cut programs that Democrats care about. So that's part of what's going on is Democrats are like, how do we know if we support continuing the funding that Trump's not just going to kill it again? Second thing going on, and this one's very important, and Republicans are literally lying about this. I mean, literally lying. I'm not saying in a hyperbole lying. I'm not saying I disagree with them lying. I'm saying it is a bald-faced lie and something the Republicans are doing as their now messaging policy. They are claiming falsely, and all the media has pointed this out. I mean, Google it. Everyone's done. Conservative Wall Street Journal did a fact check saying it's a lie, among others. Everyone's said it's a lie. The Republicans are saying the reason the Democrats are shutting down the government is they want money to go to illegal aliens for health care. Except the U.S. government bans money for people who are here illegally for health care. They literally can't get it. They can't get Medicaid. They can't get Medicare. They can't get Social Security. They can't get anything. Obamacare, Affordable Care Act, nothing. It is banned under federal law. There is no way for the Democrats to give money to go to people here illegally. It is banned. They're not doing it. And again, if you Google this, you will see every single source out there other than the crazy, extremists will tell you, yeah, the Republicans are lying. What Democrats are doing is they're putting $1 trillion back, demanding that Donald Trump cut from Medicaid. Trump and the Republicans cut $1 trillion with a T dollars from Medicaid. Medicaid is a program of health care, health insurance, basically, that government provided that goes to poor people. But surprisingly, even though you'd think, a program for poor people, that must be a Democratic program, right? No, it is a ton of Republicans in Republican states because it just so happens a lot of Republican states don't function very well. They have high poverty. They have poor education levels. They have poor public services. It's just kind of ironic that they're the most Republican states. Many of them don't work very well. And on this front, this is one example of it. So basically, as I said, the Republicans are lying about it. They're claiming that Democrats are trying to give health care to illegals. It is banned. And now, one thing I've said too, and by the way, this is where I still think Democrats, I don't know what it is with the messaging. The second Republican said that, I would have said, okay, no problem. Republicans are afraid that our program is actually giving $1 trillion to illegal aliens. Okay, then we're going to add a specific line in the bill that says no money can go to illegal aliens. So now you're on board? Again, imagine all the media going, Congressman, Republican, the Democrats just said they're happy to, they understand your concern and they just put in language banning illegal aliens from getting healthcare money. So you're going to vote for it now? I mean, this is not rocket science how to do messaging on this stuff, And again, no, the money can't. Well, of course, here's the problem, whoever it was. Under U.S. law, the money can't go to people here illegally anyway. Republicans are lying and claiming that's what Democrats are really doing. So the response to that is, okay, I'm happy to add language I'll add it right now. Here's the Democratic bill. Here's the language. The line literally says no money goes to illegal aliens. So you're good now? And what are Republicans going to say? Well, and then you say, okay, you give me your language banning illegal aliens from getting Affordable Care Act and Medicaid. No problem. And what are they going to do? I just don't get it. I don't get it because it also gives them, the media has been calling the Republicans out on the lie, but it gives the media one more thing and going, but Democrats already banned illegal aliens in their bill. It's literally in the bill. They added language for you. right, anyway, you get it. It is, again, they're lying. They're lying. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. Now, the thing that'll be interesting is typically when the government's shut down, it blows up on the party in power. The party in power is the Republican Party. The Republicans control the House. The Republicans control the Senate. The Republicans control the Supreme Court. They control everything, right? So it's not clear. Oh, interesting. 40 gifters send your awesome live to win a 24 live goal theme. Oh, what the hell? There's some crazy little theme thing that TikTok is doing. 40 gifts in the next 15 minutes. Gives us something for the live. I don't know what it is, but I put it up. We'll see what happens. Although knowing us, we're already getting it. You guys, I was going to say, all you have to do is Yvonne actually figured it out. Just do the little gifts. I think we're going to get it, judging by the way that thing is going. Thank you, guys. I'll be curious to see what it is. We get some live theme thing. I don't know what it is. Anyway, Chelsea says, did you see the banner on the Housing and Urban Development website blaming Democrats? Yes. Oh, did we already get it? Thank you. Actually, did you guys do it already? Yvonne and others? Oh, shake the head for the birds. Oh, it knocks them off. Sorry, that was very funny. That was very funny. Interesting. Actually, coffee person, we muted you last night. If you're a jerk, we'll block you and then you're never coming back. You're back because we muted you. So don't tempt fate. I didn't block you anyway. The mods did. I let them deal with it. I think that's it. Oh, no, it's still coming. Still coming. 3 seconds. 2 seconds. Or no, is it view theme reward? Oh, no, that's not it. I have no idea. Okay, I'm still not understanding what this thing does. Okay. Yep, I don't know what it does. Okay, we'll see what it does. Anyway, yeah, so what Trump is doing, and again, I will say it's kind of illegal, but it's smart. I look like Maddow. Oh, we've got a sexist troll. Now, what a surprise. Somebody on YouTube is a sexist MAGA troll. And you have to kind of ask yourselves, what is it that makes Trump supporters think that being sexist somehow makes them look good? You know? I mean, well, we know what it is. Obviously, if you're sexist or racist or whatever, you think that's like a normal thing that everybody else goes, oh, yeah. So anyway, yeah. Anyway. All right. What else we got? So anyway, yes. So I'm just trying to look here. The government shutdown. Yeah, so Republicans shut it down. Trump and the Republicans are claiming Democrats want to fund illegal aliens. Oh, they also are using now the government websites. They put up banners on all the government websites. Democrat shutdown. A lot of the Republican federal employees have on their emails, they get, I'm not at work because the Democrats shut down the government. They're very good. Now, by the way, in no previous shutdown has anybody done this. I always talk about this. Oh, we got our goal. Thank you, guys. I have no idea what it achieves. We got our flash goal. Thank you all. Oh, good selection here. You've won this live goal theme, and it will last for 24 hours from the moment you achieve the flash goal. Okay, a live goal theme. I don't know what it does. Hold on. What's the reward when the flash goal is achieved? The live creator. Oh, thank you for the hat. The live creator will win a special theme for the live goal panel lasting for 24 hours. The contributors' profile photos and usernames will appear on the goal panel when the creator goes live. Oh, what happens to the ongoing live goal? I don't understand. Okay, as always with TikTok, it's never really clear what they're talking about. This is TikTok. I have said this before. TikTok is infamous for writing explanations about stuff that makes no sense in English. It literally makes no sense. Thank you, Aileen. Let me know which goat you want. And that's a perfect example. We want a live goal theme for 24 hours. I don't know what the F that means. No idea. They're very bad. It's sad. Yeah, so Aileen, which goat do you want? Big goat, small goat, Halloween goat? But all the time this happens. I am always looking at things that TikTok is recommending or whatever, and I'm reading it and going, huh? I don't know. It's possible it's an AI translation. That's an interesting question, whether it's a translation from Chinese. Small? Oh, regular. You want regular small? Yes? Regular small or Halloween small? Regular? Yep. I'm just double checking. Aileen, regular small. You get one more. Ah! Thank you, Aileen. Yeah. So anyway, so that's it for the shutdown. So Trump is retaliating against Democrats. Trump has decided if we're going to have the shutdown, he's going to go scorched earth and kill lots of federal programs to hurt more people. He's already suspending. He wants to punish New York because New York votes for Democrats. He suspended $18 billion in transit projects in New York. He's stopping them. Doesn't have to. He's doing it to be mean because he said, again, they're Democrats. So he's shutting off $18 billion. The Trump's OMB director just shut off $8 billion for green new scam funding. Listen to this. Green new scam funding to fuel the left's climate agenda. What is very sad and very dangerous this time around is that Trump got the crazy MAGA activists running everything now. Remember, just like Brendan Carr at the FCC, the one who killed Jimmy Kimmel's show for a while, MAGA activist when he talks. They all talk like Donald Trump Jr. They all talk like Trump's son. This guy too, right? I killed the Green New Scam. He's the head of the Office of Management and Budget, which is a hugely important agency, very respected, sort of financial, et cetera. And he's talking like a MAGA activist from college or high school. They killed a bunch of funding now for the environment because it goes to 16 states, which are Democratic states, of course. As I told you, Trump is threatening to fire federal employees now, more federal employees. He's threatening to kill more federal programs. Here's the thing with this. Honestly, let him. I mean, at this point, and I've been sort of saying this, do you really think Donald Trump isn't going to fire more federal employees if we give him his budget he wants? Really? Do we really think Donald Trump isn't going to kill more federal programs? Really? Right? Oh, if we only give him his budget, he won't hurt us. Right? Of course he will. I mean, at this point, we've got to stop. I mean, this reminds me, years ago, I was doing some consulting for Planned Parenthood. Again, 20 years ago. So no problem telling you now. And was talking to somebody. And somebody internally said to me, they wanted me to recommend crazy fun activism and stuff. And I said something I proposed. And the woman said to me, she goes, oh, we could never do that. Rush Limbaugh would destroy us. Rush Limbaugh was this horrible right-wing radio host, very powerful, probably the most powerful right-wing radio host in America. And thank you for the hearts. Thank you, Steph. Thank you, Steph, both Steph. And they said, Rush Limbaugh will destroy us on his show if we say that. And I said, do you really think if you don't say that, Rush Limbaugh won't destroy you? Really? I mean, he's going to destroy you anyway. He's a right-wing activist. He hates you. He's going to find something to go after you with. You shouldn't be making your decisions based on, and the same thing here. We're going to make decisions on the shutdown based on, oh, Donald Trump is going to kill government programs and fire federal employees and hurt Democratic priorities. Let's give him what he wants because then he'll be nice to us and he will no longer kill government programs. And right. Thank you, Claire. Right. I mean, thank you, Rosie. Thank you, Eddie. I mean, right. It's obvious. He's going to keep doing it anyway. So no. So I think Democrats just say, again, they're destroying our government. They're destroying our services. It is a vindictive. It is fascist. It is a government there to hurt people. And you just keep presenting it to people and say, if Donald Trump wants to, again, you know what Democrats should do too? You notice how for the shutdown, Republicans keep talking about this bullshit that Democrats want to give money to illegal immigrants. And everyone, as we talked earlier, everyone's fact-checked it and said it's not true. It's banned under the law. They literally can't get the money. So it's banned. But Republicans talk about it because it's a good lie. And it's something like the public doesn't like. Democrats should turn around, make the entire, actually not just the shutdown, make every single thing Republicans do about Medicare and Social Security. The shutdown. The shutdown is Republicans trying to kill Medicare and Social Security. Republicans trying to damage it. Republicans will make it harder for you to get it. Just talk about it. Just talk. I mean, it's what Republicans would do, right? I mean, seriously, if Republicans were on they are. I say if Republicans were on the other side, they are. They're lying about illegal immigrants. We should be talking about Social Security, every single thing. Social Security, Medicare. And already Social Security, I was reading the other day, Social Security has been impacted significantly because of Donald Trump's cuts, because of the Doge cuts, the Elon Musk cuts. There was an article about how one old lady getting her Social Security, her retirement check from the government, they stopped the check. There was some mistake. They stopped the check and demanded she pay like $50,000 because they said, oh, we overpaid you or some bullshit. And it was wrong. Not only are they demanding she pay $50,000, but they stopped giving her her monthly check. Well, her monthly check paid her rent. It paid her bills. These people are generally, a lot of them they're retired and they don't have a lot of money. So she's not getting her monthly money to pay her bills. They're demanding $50,000 she doesn't have. And there's nobody at the Social Security Administration for her to talk to because they've all been fired or fired or let go or given early retirement, so that there's no longer anybody to answer the phone lines. You can't get through. I mean, again, why aren't Democrats talking about this? Right? I mean, it's an obvious thing. And again, I would talk about it because you know what? They say they're not cutting Social Security. Yeah, they are. They're doing the Newt Gingrich wither on the vine thing with Medicare, right? They're cutting all the employees that would help you so that you no longer can get help. As soon as you have a problem with Social Security, you're toast. You cannot get help anymore, which is the same as cutting Social Security for certain seniors. They cut her Social Security. Anyway, Democrats suck at this. What do you do? Trump again shared a racist meme over the last day. Trump, being a 13-year-old fascist child, has been sharing a meme on his official accounts, and they put up now TV screens at the White House so the visitors can see it. Trump thought, I'm not going to show you, Trump holds a negotiation yesterday with Democrats. Trump refused, by the way, to negotiate with Democrats about the shutdown at all. Wouldn't talk to them. And he goes and decides finally to let the Democrats come to the White House to negotiate. They walk out of the meeting. They do a press conference. Trump has somebody take the video of the Democratic press conference, the statement, and change it. They used AI to put fake words in their mouths, and the words were racist as hell. Totally racist. Again, talking about Mexicans. And really, again, if I repeated this, TikTok would probably ban me. Horrifically racist stuff about Mexicans. And it took Hakeem Jeffries, who's an African-American, because of course he has to do this to African-Americans, and put Mexican mustache, stereotypical Mexican mustache and a Mexican sombrero on his head to make him look Mexican. It was the most racist thing you could. And again, the president of the United States did this and started sharing it because there was such an outrage from everybody saying it, and everyone agreed. The media, everyone agreed it was racist. He did it again today. He did another one today, and they put TVs up in the White House so they could broadcast the racist meme to everybody in the White House. Again, this is fascism. This is a government that whose goal is to hurt people. It wants to help its own voters and hurt everybody else. It is, and God bless Gavin Newsom of California because he's been pushing back at least. But Trump even tweeted stuff making fun of Hakeem Jeffries, claiming he was fat or something. And Hakeem Jeffries is like this. Literally, he's like a beanpole. Actually, I'm going to show you the picture. On multiple levels. And for Donald Trump was making fun of someone else for being fat. Okay. First, I want to show you the Hakeem Jeffries picture, so you can get a sense of how weird this is. Okay. This is Hakeem Jeffries. He's not fat. He's not fat. He's just literally not fat. He's just not. He's a good-looking guy. So Trump tweets something claiming Hakeem Jeffries has a fat waist, or I don't know what. Again, Trump. So Governor Newsom of California, and I can't share this. I would love to share this. Governor Newsom shares an AI-generated tweet of a picture of Trump sitting on the ground, all dirty, eating McDonald's. And there's drones coming in, dropping more McDonald's on top of Trump. But it's a picture of Trump like maybe 150 pounds heavier. It was nasty. But again, Trump is attacking the Democratic leader in the House of Representatives, calling him fat. I mean, again, it is incredibly dangerous. This is why, again, like the post Charlie Kirk stuff, it boggled my mind. Trump is politically violent. His politics is violent. He has always spoken violently. He made violent suggestions about people shooting Hillary Clinton, for example. He has always spoken literally violently, but there's also a violence to his politics in terms of stuff like this. Meaning there's a nastiness to it. I just don't know what else to call it than politically violent. It's just, it boggles the mind. Let me see what else we got here. Oh yeah. Oh my God. There's horrific video. I'm going to show you this video. Horrific video out of New York. Yet another person injured by Trump's Border Patrol people. These guys might be ICE. They might be Border Patrol. I'm not sure which. They might be Border Patrol, but they're all the immigration people that wear the masks and the glasses like secret police. New York, again, we reported on the guy the other day who, a woman from Ecuador, her husband was picked up by, Trump's people to deport him. And she was in the courthouse in the hallway, talking to one of the agents, crying there with her two children, her two girls who looked like they were about 12 or 10. And she's crying and she's saying in Spanish, they're going to kill him. Please, you've got to let him go. They'll kill him. Like if he goes back to Ecuador. The agent is getting so annoyed with this woman because she's crying. He grabs her, throws her against the wall, and throws her on the ground. And then she's this petite woman, mother and wife. He gets taken off the job for 3 days. Obviously, somebody found out, you know who, and they put him back on the job. Right? They put him back on the job. That's it. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. So they did it again. I'm going to show you the video from yesterday. The ICE agents, the federal, the border agents are at the same immigration courthouse, are getting into an elevator with whoever, and some journalists tried to get in the elevator. So they took the journalist and pulled him out of the elevator. And another journalist, and this is the thing. So there's the one journalist in the elevator, they forcibly remove him. Okay, possibly. Right? I mean, I could see possibly removing a journalist, maybe. A second journalist taking photos, they shove her across the room. She's not even in the elevator. I will show you this. She's taking photos on the right. They shove her so hard that they throw her into another guy. The guy, another photojournalist, hits the floor and hurts his neck. He can't get up. He can't move. For 40 minutes, he's on the floor. He can't move. They had to bring an ambulance. It is, and of course, it's a bunch of guys in masks. I'm going to show you this one because it's horrific. I did a TikTok on it. Of course, TikTok censored it because, God bless TikTok. God bless our TikTok overlords. Yeah, I can't even show you the racist stuff he did. Trump also did a racist Mexican thing about, get ready for it, he dressed up a black female member of Congress as a Mexican as well. Big surprise there. Only the blacks. Interesting, as always with Trump, right? Here we go. Hang on a second. See? Okay, I'm going to go back here a second. We're going to go back here a second. Because they're trying to say, oh, the guy was in the elevator. Look at what they do. There is the guy in the elevator, okay? Hold on. The guy with the red on his shirt with the hair, okay? He is in the elevator. The guy looking like the East German secret police there pushes him out of the elevator, okay? There's the woman on the right, the photographer taking photos. Look at the guy on the right now. He doesn't want her taking photos. He takes her and shoves her. Look at her go to the floor. She hits the guy behind her. Look at the guy behind her on the ground. Okay. See, they kept trying to claim, well, They tripped because the guy was in the elevator. No, the guy in the elevator was forced out of the elevator, and a different ICE Border Patrol guy didn't like the photographer taking photos and shoved her across the room to the ground. He threw the woman to the ground, and there was a guy right next to her that went thrown to the ground too and injured himself. Okay, one more time. So now you're looking, and again, pay attention to the right side of the screen, not the guy in the elevator, the right side of the screen. So see the one with the camera on the right, photographer. Get out of the F and see, blue guy shoves her to the ground, guy behind hits the ground. It was blue guy who did it, not the guy in the elevator. He says, get the F out of the elevator. This is the reporter now on the ground for 40 minutes, can't move because something happened to his neck. Stephanie Keith took the video, obviously. We're giving her credit. And then these are the emergency medical folks. I mean, it's horrific what they did. Absolutely horrific. Yeah. And of course, TikTok censored the video when I put it up because, God bless TikTok. Horrific. Yeah. So just to repeat to people what happened. The ICE Border Patrol people are getting into an elevator with maybe a suspect, I don't know, at the courthouse. A journalist walked into the elevator with them, and they said, you can't be here. So they shoved the journalist out of the elevator, the guy. Okay. The other ICE agent goes, get the F out of the elevator. He doesn't say F. Get the F out of the elevator. A different ICE agent now. There's the ICE agent in the elevator pushing the journalist out. The ICE agent outside of the elevator hears a journalist behind him, a woman taking pictures. He turns and doesn't like her taking pictures. So he shoves her across the room onto the floor. He throws her to the ground because he doesn't want her taking photos. And there's another journalist behind her who also gets thrown to the ground, hits his head, and cannot move as a result. That's what happened. I mean, this is not just a constitutional violation. This is fascist behavior. It is when the government acts like a police state and uses official violence against people. And even worse in this case, they are using violence against journalists, and they've been doing it again and again and again. They shot at a journalist in Chicago because she drove by the ICE facility. And it's all over the news now, CBS journalist. She drove by to see if there were any protests going on because they were going to, do a broadcast. There were no protesters. There's no protests at all. There's nobody else there. Her window was down because it was a nice day. They shot inside her car with one of their pepper bullets. It exploded inside her car, which choked her. She had to get out of the car vomiting for minutes. Yeah. And again, firing inside her car. By the way, they're only 50 feet away, 15 meters. 50 feet away, 50. Firing inside a moving car, they could have killed her. She could have killed somebody else. Imagine a car, right? A car. This is fascist behavior. It is illegal. It is what they would do in Russia and China. It previously was not what you do in America. And again, if we're going to get rid of the First Amendment, then let's get rid of the Second Amendment. I mean, if that's what we're talking about, if we're talking about just spending civil liberties, okay. Right? I mean, what is to stop the next Democratic president from just suspending the Second Amendment? I mean, Supreme Court can try, but what's this? By the way, the Donald Trump rule, Supreme Court's going to stop him? How is the Supreme Court going to stop a Democrat from taking away all your guns? Think about it. See, this is what Trump is doing. Okay, let's pretend the next Democratic president says, yeah, the Republicans think the president is fully like a dictator. He can do whatever he wants. He can violate the Constitution at will. We're taking away all your guns. And the Republicans go, you can't do that. We're going to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court says, you can't do that. Second Amendment, Constitution. And the next Republican president, maybe her name is Alexandria Ocasio, maybe her name is Zoran Mamdani, says, the next Democratic president says, oh no, you see, under Donald Trump, we just do things. We don't care if it's legal, and we don't care what the court says. So let the Supreme Court say it's not legal, and who's going to enforce the Supreme Court decision? The Justice Department? Alexandria's Justice Department isn't going to enforce the court's decision. Alexandria's FBI isn't going to isn't going to enforce the court's decision. So the Supreme Court will be able to do absolutely nothing if Democrats come and decide to take away all of the guns in the country and say the Second Amendment no longer applies. That is what happens. Now, Democrats probably wouldn't do it because Democrats are responsible, but you always have a danger of that happening, and this is something that, the Trump supporters need to start thinking about. Do you really want to create a government where the president can do whatever he wants in violation of the law? Because then at some point, you're not going to have control of the White House and you're not going to have control of the Congress. And the other party is going to violate your civil liberties and your constitutional rights. And you can complain about it on Fox News all you want. You can go to the courts even, but there's nothing you can do about it. It's bad stuff. It's really bad stuff. The other thing the ICE agents did, again, we are talking about suspension of constitutional liberties here. The Border Patrol agents in Chicago, I think they were Border Patrol, but same thing as ICE. I mean, it's the same thing. It's all Trump's Department of Homeland Security people. Remember the video in Chicago of the I don't know if I have it here, so I probably still have it. There's a video of Chicago of the guy on the bike that's getting away from the here he is. That's getting away from the Trump people. I want to show you this. I'm going to show you this first. This is Chicago. And of course, as always, because we live in East Germany now, this is how they all dress. Look at this. Look at this. All of them have to hide their faces for accountability because, again, this is like the East German secret police at this point now. All of them. Not all of them. This guy at least had the balls to have his face. I'll give him credit for that. Actually, you see they're right by Marina Tower, too. It's funny. You can see it behind them. I want to show you this really quick, and then we're going to tell you what actually happened. Note the guy on the bike. Okay, he's like a bike food delivery guy on the bike. All right. Guy on the bike there. I want to show you this and then tell you what actually happened, because what actually happened makes it far worse what they did. All right. Hold on. Nine of them couldn't get the guy. 9 of them couldn't get him. Now, let me explain what actually happened, because we finally found out. The guy that posted the video, Christopher Sweat, has not been very forthcoming about what actually happened. He kind of teased it and then wouldn't publish it. I don't know why. But nonetheless, he did a good job with this. What actually happened, this guy came by and he said, F Donald Trump. But he said the word, right? F Trump. Show you guys right closer. There you go. Right? He said F Trump. And then he said to them, I'm not a citizen. And that's when they went crazy. Because now the first thing that happened, hold on a second. Let me, 1 second here. I don't think I have the original. Yeah, the original clip has the beginning. He comes by, so he says, F Trump, I'm not a citizen. And then he drops his phone and they laugh and go, mind you, most of them think it's funny. They laugh. They go, hey, you dropped your phone. He goes to pick up the phone and the one guy yells, get him. And they all start charging at him. Let me make something very clear here. Again, Europe has different free speech laws than America. And even in Europe, I don't know if this would be a problem. Thank you, Kat. In America, it is 100% protected under the U.S. Constitution that you can say F the president. Absolutely, positively protected. That's the first point. So nothing illegal this guy did. Second thing, saying I'm not a citizen is not an admission of any guilt. If he said I am illegal, that would be interesting, I think. Because if he said, hey, I'm here illegally, then you're admitting to a crime. Now, you guys would say it's not a crime. I mean, it's against whatever, whether it's a misdemeanor or whatever. But the point is you're admitting something illegal. That gets interesting as far as whether they can grab you, right? I think they can if you admit that you're here illegally. He didn't admit he was here illegally. He said to them, I'm not American. I'm not a U.S. citizen. Lots of people aren't U.S. citizens. It is totally legal to be in America as a foreigner. Foreigners, people who are not U.S. citizens come here on vacation. People who are not U.S. citizens come here for work. People who are not U.S. citizens come here to naturalize, to get green cards, right? They come here for studies. You are not allowed under the U.S. Constitution to grab somebody. Law enforcement is not allowed to grab you and forcibly, they wanted to grab him. They were going to force him off the bike. They were going to detain him because he insulted the president and because he said he wasn't a U.S. citizen. That is illegal under the U.S. Constitution. It is a violation of the First Amendment of the Constitution. And again, it is fascist. It is what they do in police states. You literally don't arrest people for saying F the president. You really don't arrest people for saying I'm not a citizen. Yeah, so what if you're not a citizen, right? There's lots of people who aren't citizens. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like when because I was kind of wondering what he said, and I was kind of curious, right? Prexis said he could hear the I'm not a citizen. Yeah. I did. I saw the same thing. I finally saw that video yesterday that he said, I'm not a citizen. I didn't hear him say F Trump, F-U-C-K, Trump. But other people did. Again, this is really really amazing. Really amazing. And again, we've got to keep calling it out for what it is. We've got to keep, because Trump would like nothing but Trump and his people, J.D. Vance, they don't want to be called fascists. They don't want to be compared to the Germans in the 1930s. It embarrasses them. And when you do it, it makes it harder for them to do it next time. And they're doing everything. The Charlie Kirk stuff, they tried to do this too. They're trying to do everything they can to silence everybody who isn't a fascist, basically. And they're going to do it by embarrassing you and by saying, oh, right. I mean, again, for them to be accusing you and us of promoting violence, everything's projection. Everything's an admission at this point, basically. Thank you, Nauseous, for the gift. Yeah, that's part of it. Yeah, Trump thinks he's going to be president forever. He does. So a little bit of Ukraine news-ish. French military personnel have boarded an oil tanker named on a list of Russia's Shadow Fleet vessels, suspected of being a launch pad for mystery drone flights that forced the closure of airports in Denmark last week. So the French have boarded a Russian ship that they believe might be responsible for launching all the drones against Europe, including Denmark. Honestly, they should take it. And the Russians won't like it. They should take the ship and sink it if it comes down to that. This was interesting. Sky News military analyst Michael Clark. I'm going to read you this. I thought it was very interesting. Hang on. He believes that the Ukrainians might still have something up their sleeves regarding attacks before the winter. The Ukrainians like to spring surprises, he said. He noted that Ukraine has recently attacked a number of radar stations and air defense facilities, particularly in Crimea. Quote, you can create a gap in the curtain of air defense. Then you want to put something into the gap to go and get something even more valuable. That could be some sort of big attack into Crimea, such as an air attack or an amphibious assault in order to unsettle the Russians somehow, he added. And given what the Ukrainians now have in terms of deep strike capabilities, Clark believes that even a hit on the Kerch Bridge linking Crimea to Russia might not be inconceivable. So he thinks Ukraine might be up to something in the next month or so. We'll see. Maybe a month or two. Britain's Princess Anne made a surprise visit to Ukraine, met with Zelensky. The European Union has transferred a 4 billion euro tranche of the money generated from frozen Russian assets to Ukraine. The Kremlin warned on Wednesday that it would seek the prosecution of individuals and countries engaged in the theft of frozen Russian sovereign assets in Europe, as European leaders convened to discuss a proposal to lend $165 billion to Ukraine based on the frozen Russian money. Medvedev. Two final stories. This is interesting. Medvedev is screwing up. I'm going to do a video on this on TikTok when we're done. Medvedev is the Russian former, I think he was prime minister or whatever. And he might have been president at one point too. He was prime minister. He was the guy that was considered the liberal. He was the guy that was considered like he was a good guy 25 years ago, and we were hoping he'd get in power. He'd be okay. He's gone crazy since then. Total warmonger, literally, he's the one who, whenever we talk about Russia's threatening nuclear war, it's him. He's the one 3 times a week was threatening nuclear war with the West. And I kept telling you guys, this is what he does, doesn't matter. Well, he made some stupid comment. Oh, thank you for the Egyptian. Appreciate that. I like moving around with those things. It's very funny. Thank you for that. It was at Dave. Thank you. I was just going to say, keep the gifts coming, guys. Subscribe as well. Consider me. I know the subscriptions got more expensive, the superfan thing on TikTok, but if you can, consider subscribing. YouTube, they're still the same old price. I would appreciate that. Or maybe buy some for others. You can do a 1-month gift to the people at large. It'll go to them randomly, or you can pick them, I think. So Medvedev, a couple of months ago, does something kind of threatening. Let me see if I can find it. He kind of threatened Trump in the U.S. a couple of months ago, and Trump got pissed. And I remember reading it and going, this is really stupid. Let me pull this up. And Trump got pissed and mentioned Medvedev threatened Trump, I'll put. Hold on. Actually, Medvedev's been doing it repeatedly. In July 2025, Trump issued a deadline for Russia to agree to a ceasefire in Ukraine or face additional tariffs. Medvedev called the ultimatum theatrical and warned Trump that Russia didn't care. Medvedev posted on social media warning Trump against playing the ultimate game and stated each new ultimatum is a threat and a step towards war. Later, this was the one. In July, Medvedev made a chilling reference to Russia's dead hand system, a Cold War era automatic nuclear retaliation protocol. That was it. That was the one that he kind of threatened to nuke us. And Trump responded that he ought to watch his words. Trump says he sent 2 U.S. nuclear submarines to Russia in response, like off of Russia. Well, Trump yesterday repeated the story about when he was doing his little weird thing with the generals. Trump repeated his story about sending the nuclear submarines to Russia in response to Medvedev being rude. Medvedev went after Trump again today. This is beautiful because it's going to, again, it's the Russian government being mean, not just mean, sarcastically condescending to Donald Trump. Which the only thing they could have done worse than this would have been to have a black woman issue this statement to Donald Trump. Would have been the only thing better in terms of pissing off Trump. Listen to what Medvedev did. This is from Sky News. Former Russian President Dmitry Medvedev has mocked Donald Trump's previous claims that he would send submarines to Russian shores. Trump said this is the previous ones. Oh, hold on. This may be the previous ones. Oh, no, this is the new one. Trump said in August that he had ordered 2 nuclear submarines to be moved to the appropriate regions in response to threats from Medvedev. The U.S. president reiterated those threats yesterday while also calling Medvedev a stupid person. In response, Medvedev, in the last day, suggested that the U.S. had not sent nuclear submarines to Russia as previously promised. Quote, new episode of the thriller series, Medvedev said on Twitter. Quote, Trump once again brought up the submarines he allegedly sent to the Russian shores, insisting they are very well hidden. As the saying goes, it's hard to find a black cat in a dark room, especially if it's not there. He mocked Trump and said Trump was lying and that he was too chicken to send the nuclear submarines to Russia, which means Trump is now going to send probably not just the nuclear submarines to Russia. If I were Trump, I'd send an aircraft carrier, certainly a whole carrier group to Russia as well at this point. That is not smart to do. It is beautiful, however, because again, what you want is for Trump to get constantly pissed at Medvedev. You want him to just for him to be pissed at the Russians because he knows he's the Russian government, right? This is good. This is good. Yeah, you can't find a black cat in a dark room. This is really good. I'm very, very glad to see this. It's very glad. Anyway, the final thing. One of Putin's top allies, this guy who heads up this Russian nuclear research group, said today, or the last week, according to the Moscow Times, that The West is using gays and biological weapons to wipe out 90% of humanity. And he said that the West has a secret plan. The reason they're promoting like gay and trans rights, well, of course, the trans thing doesn't quite make sense. Gay rights is they don't want people to procreate anymore. They don't want to have any more babies because there's too many people. And we can't afford to have this many people, probably because of AI or something, right? Like you don't have the jobs anymore. So they need to get rid of people. So they're promoting gay rights because gays allegedly won't have babies. A lot of them do. And in a couple generations, the people who are left, the West will then create a new bioweapon that will wipe out 90% of the population. It was just like, okay, okay, that was interesting. So I just had to share that because I thought it was funny. And frankly, this is like a top Russian nuclear institute guy, and like a top Putin guy. And this is the kind of stuff these guys say. There is something very weird. There's something very weird about all of that, to be honest. So, very interesting. Did I sound like your father? Our trolls are upset that we're making fun of the Russians. Oh, well, life's a biatch. Life's a biatch. Anyway, so now we hang and chat. It's 7 o'clock. That's good. We got time. This is the part of the show we hang and chat. That black cat tends to hide in dark hallways. That's funny. That's funny. Anyway, I missed that question, Bryce. Do you fear if Trump, the U.S., owns a stake or has any say in censorship, he will come after shows such as yours on TikTok? Yes. That's an easy question. Yes. Exactly. The great Russian gay replacement theory. That's exactly it. Yep. Who knows what they're going to do? What they're going to do with TikTok? But it's with Trump. Why would Trump leave hands off of TikTok? Why? He's doing everything now. He's doing everything. Well, the problem is I've got the most followers on TikTok. What am I going to do? I've got 800,000 followers. People should follow me on YouTube, John Aravosis DC, but I've only got like 24,000 followers. I've got 800,000 followers on TikTok. How am I going to leave? I've got YouTube happening now as we speak, but I can't afford to leave it. Yeah, I can't move to YouTube until people come to YouTube. You can't blame the Democrats. How do you blame the Democrats? Donald Trump came up with the whole. Okay, history lesson here. First of all, blame China. China's the reason that people were worried about TikTok being a national security threat. They weren't wrong. Second of all, Donald Trump came up with the idea to ban TikTok around 2019 or so. He was on an airplane and said, we ought to ban TikTok. The next month, he put out an executive order trying to ban TikTok. He tried 3 times to ban TikTok, and the courts wouldn't let him. It then went ahead and got banned under the Biden administration. The Trump proposal to ban TikTok passed under the Biden administration, okay? Trump then, when he was running for president, met with a rich guy, and the rich guy, oops, my little thing is falling over. The rich guy just happens to be an investor in TikTok's parent company, ByteDance. And the rich guy, in his secret meeting with Trump, convinces Trump somehow that TikTok should no longer be banned. Again, Trump with a rich guy in a private meeting, a donor in a private meeting, and the donor is an investor in TikTok's parent, changes his mind. I love TikTok. Donald Trump. We all know what happened in the meeting. That's why Trump changed on TikTok. Now, I'm glad he changed on TikTok because they didn't want TikTok banned. But let's be clear about something. Donald Trump tried to ban TikTok. It was Donald Trump's idea to ban TikTok, and the Trump TikTok ban finally got passed when Biden was president. But Trump tried to ban it 3 times. So the idea that Biden did not come up, this is like the Afghanistan policy. Donald Trump created our entire Afghanistan withdrawal was Donald Trump. Donald Trump negotiated with the Taliban. Donald Trump reached the deal. Donald Trump decided that American troops had to be out by, it was May or so of 2021. American troops had to be out of Afghanistan. Joe, he removed 2/3 of our troops. Biden comes into office. There's only 1/3 left, and Biden removes the rest. Everybody blames Biden for Afghanistan falling apart. He literally implemented Donald Trump's peace agreement. Okay. By the way, the really interesting thing, when Biden was initially worried that things were not going well in Afghanistan and he was worried about withdrawing the troops, Trump tweeted in August, in April, or on his Truth Social, whatever, in April of 2021, and I've Googled the articles repeatedly. You can Google it. April of 2021, Google Trump in Afghanistan and Biden, and you will find a statement from Trump urging Biden to continue withdrawing all the U.S. troops. Okay? You will see that. Donald Trump thought Biden was going too slow in removing the U.S. troops. Okay? The other thing, Biden leaving the equipment, two things. One, you can't remove all the equipment. This was Donald Trump's deal. Donald Trump didn't plan to remove all the equipment. We were leaving the equipment anyway. Two, the equipment was with the Afghan police. It was the Afghan police, just like with the Iraqi police. We gave them the equipment to defend themselves, and they sucked. And they lost. That's how the Taliban got the equipment. Third, the other equipment we left, we destroyed. So, yep, Gunther, that is the case. So, yeah. So let's talk about Donald Trump's failed Afghan withdrawal. Let's talk about it. You know, the other thing, and it gets even more complicated. People, even I thought, I was like, well, why couldn't Biden just stop and not withdraw the remaining troops and bring more? Because that would have been a violation of the deal and the Taliban would have attacked. We only had like 5,000 or 6,000 Marines left. They were at the airport and the embassy. They were surrounded by the Taliban. Had we said, we're not leaving, they would have opened fire on us from all sides and killed everybody. We didn't have enough troops left to say we're not leaving because Donald Trump removed them all. So yes, we could have violated Trump's agreement and our troops would have been slaughtered. Again, but I will say this, Joe Biden never defended himself. Joe Biden was the last, and Democrats don't do this anyway. Democrats are the last people to go, hey, other guy did this. This is his deal. We don't have a choice, right? And voters, by the way, you voted for this. People voted to get us out of Afghanistan. And then once we got out, they got upset. It didn't go well. Well, you know, I mean, anyway. Trump didn't release 2,000, Arden. Trump did not release 2,000 Taliban members. Trump released 5,000 Taliban members. Yes, 5,000 Taliban terrorists Trump released. 5,000. Imagine if Joe Biden did that. Thank you, Addie. I did see that. That was very cool. No, Biden is a big letdown, but it drives me crazy how bad Democrats are. Again, how bad Democrats are at messaging. Because they let Trump do stuff like this. And Republican, and even the media, oh, Biden did such a bad job. You know, what was Biden supposed to do? Leave the troops there and they get slaughtered, remove the troops under Trump's agreement, and Afghanistan gets slaughtered. Yes. Oh, yes. As for the government shutdown, that was Donald Trump and the Republicans too. Correct. You may miss the fact that the Republicans control the House of Representatives, Republicans control the Senate, and the Republicans control the presidency. Why couldn't the Republicans get a budget passed? The only reason the government's being shut down is the Republican Congress and the Republican president didn't pass the funding bills for the agencies in time. Why didn't they? What were they doing? Did they go on vacation this year? Yes, they did. They took a lot of vacations this year, right? August, they took 7 weeks in August. Remember they left early because they didn't want to vote on Jeffrey Epstein? So rather than get these funding bills done, they went on vacation a week and a half early because they didn't want to talk about Jeffrey Epstein. So they went on vacation for like 7 weeks. Well, yeah, that's why the government shut down. It's like, oh, well. Yeah, but you wouldn't need 60 votes if the Republicans had simply gotten, you don't need 60 votes for a continuing resolution if the Republicans had simply passed the funding bills, which was their job. They didn't do their job. Well, oh, well. Yes, Trump invited the Taliban to Camp David. He certainly did. Lovely stuff. Yep. Anyway. Very annoying. Democrats do need to be more like Republicans. No, they shouldn't lie like Republicans, although sometimes I'm kind of rethinking that now. But they should absolutely be as hard-nosed as Republicans. Absolutely. You know? Anyway. What else, guys? Russia had a nuclear drill siren? Oh, Russia had a nuclear practice drill with sirens going off, but they didn't tell everyone until it was over. What, so everyone thought there was a Russian nuclear attack? Thank you, Poppy. Other Poppy, Poppy Boots. Thank you, Jamie. That's very funny. And the other, that's a good point too. Paul just noted the other government shutdowns were under Trump too. Why do other government shutdowns happen when Trump is president? Right? Doesn't happen when Democrats are in charge. Not like this, it doesn't. You can rewatch it on YouTube. Yes, Cassandra. John Aravosis, DC. My shows are simulcast live in color, in living Technicolor on YouTube. So that was a bit of Sean Connery's original accent there, I think. Schumer, look, I think Schumer is quite good. I don't know if he's good at messaging anymore. He's getting old, although he does seem to be quite there. And honestly, Republicans demonize everybody, right? So Shane, a government shutdown means literally the money is run out. Thank you, Ida. There's no more money. The Republicans didn't pass the budgets or the bills that fund every year. You've got to literally fund the government, right? Where does the money come for the paychecks? Where does the money come to give all the federal programs, the government's building highways? It's issuing Social Security checks. Where's all that money coming from, right? Social Security supposedly a little different, but you get the rest of the stuff. And if in this case the Republicans did not do their job and finish all the appropriations bills and all of that to fund the government, at a certain point, the government runs out of money because every year the government gets funded for a year. Well, the year is over. The government funding year ends September 30th. So October 1st is the beginning of a new fiscal year, it's called. The Republicans never did their job and pass a budget, not a budget, but appropriations bills. I'll say a budget, meaning they never passed the money. So the money ran out on October 1st. What happens is the government has no money to function. What they do is they function anyway. I don't know where they get the money from, but they function anyway for things that are crucial. So the president can still work. Congress can still work. Social Security payments will still go out. Probably the Medicare, a lot of the Medicare employees will still work, right? So crucial functions, I forget the word, essential. Thank you, Michelle. Essential functions will still work, but a lot of the other ones weren't. All the medical science stops. The last couple times we learned, basically, scientific experiments stop. So people are in the middle of doing experiments. The experiment stops. You can't go into the lab, and your experiment is sitting there for a month on the table. Like really bad, and their experiments get destroyed, basically. I mean, that's one example. The medical research gets destroyed. Active military doesn't get paid. Oh, I didn't know that. Federal employees don't get paid. They get their paychecks. Well, if Congress decides to pay them retroactively, they get the money after the fact. So when they come back to work finally, they can pass legislation giving them retroactive pay. But it's bad. Dog wants more water. 1 second. It's very bad. And it gets worse. It gets worse as time goes on because it sort of starts. National parks have to close. It gets worse as time goes on. TSA, I think I read TSA is staying on the job. But it's also bad because if you're a federal employee and you're not getting paid, how many among you can afford not to get paid for a month? I mean, for a lot of people, they live paycheck to paycheck. You can't afford to not get paid for a month, right? I mean, that's like for normal people. Oh, hey, Ida, thank you over there on being a Patriot launcher. Appreciate that. Right? It's crazy. Now they should get back pay. They should, but there's no guarantee. Yeah. Anyway, and it's also illegal for a lot of these people to work. They're not allowed to work. Finger is still hurting. I was in that boat the last shutdown. It was scary. Oh, that boat. You mean not getting your money. Yeah. I don't know if you're guaranteed back pay. Are you sure about that? Because every shutdown, they say in principle, they'll get back pay, but Congress and the president have to agree to it. I'm not convinced it's a guarantee. By the way, and we're talking Donald Trump too. a law was passed? I mean, it's Donald Trump. So, right? I mean, right? Good luck getting that pay. He's going to say no. Congress is getting paid. Congress is getting paid. Interesting. I did not know the law was passed, but nonetheless, I think I could see Trump just not doing it. You know? Oh, so Gunther says the federal fiscal year starts on October 1st because Congress in 1974 needed more time under the new budget process. Okay. October was chosen as a practical middle ground. It gave agencies and lawmakers a longer budget cycle while avoiding the logistical and political headaches of a January 1st start. I mean, I guess I could see January 1st being a problem because it's huge holidays in December with Christmas and New Year's and stuff. So like if that were the deadline, that would kind of suck. But October 1st still seems a bit crazy. You know, ICE doesn't get paid. That'd be nice. Interesting. Interesting. IRA. What's the IRA in this context at? ICE gets paid? I don't know. And Trump doesn't have a reputation on paying. Right. Good point, too. Trump does not have a good reputation on paying people. Excellent point. Right. 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 And, Inflation Reduction Act. Oh, wait, back. No, but that was just a couple of years ago under Biden. So I thought you were talking years ago under that. ICE gets paid, AOC said. That's too bad. That's too bad. They can buy new face masks. Oh, that's interesting. There are banks and credit unions that provide loans to federal employees at zero or lower 0% interest. That's good. That's good, at least. That's cute, Tom. I'd not seen that name before. That was very cute. That's a good one. Yes, his ballroom will continue to be built. I did see that. Yep. I doubt food stamps are going to be canceled or anything. They shouldn't be. 6K, that's good. That'll help. Yeah, so it's a mess. Anyway, let's see what the girl's doing. Hello. Now that my dog only hears halfway. Jeez. Yeah, that is a little weird. ICE is getting paid and active duty military is not. That's a little weird. That is a little weird. I didn't see Bondi made a threat to the NFL. What, over Bad Bunny? What did she do? No. What did she do? Oops, hold on. No way. The dog is outside trying to eat plants and get sick. Hang on a second. Hold on. Are you sure? I'm not seeing anything. Where did you see this? I'm not seeing anything on Bondi in the news. Not seeing it. I'm going to try Bondi and Super Bowl, but I'm not seeing anything. I mean, I don't not believe you, but there's nothing in the news which is making me suspicious. Then again, I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. But yeah, there's nothing in the news with her making any threats to the NFL. So nope. Nothing there. Yeah, maybe on Twitter. Well, it's possible, although it would have to be pretty darn recent. Come here. Come. You're done. Thank you. Don't eat plants. Thank you. I can check on Twitter because maybe Twitter does sometimes get stuff that the other guys don't. Let's see here. I'm looking, but Chelsea Clinton is starting a new podcast. Damn. Oh, that's nice. Ooh, though, boy, they're gonna hate her. That should be good. Um, huh. So wait, what's going on here? The U.S. will provide Ukraine with intelligence for long-range missile strikes on Russia's energy infrastructure, American officials said, as the Trump administration weighs sending Kyiv powerful weapons that could put in range more targets within Russia. President Trump recently signed off on allowing intelligence agencies and the Pentagon to aid Kyiv with these strikes. U.S. officials are asking NATO allies to provide similar support. The U.S. is also weighing deliveries of Tomahawks and Barracudas, Tomahawk cruise missiles, and other American-made ground and air-launched missiles that have a range of 500 miles, of around 500 miles. Now, Tomahawks have a much bigger range. Can Tomahawk range be limited? Tomahawk cruise missiles would be insane. That's interesting. But intelligence to help them do deep strikes. And again, we may be able to thank Dmitry Medvedev for that. You know, I think Trump is getting pissed at them. That's good. That's very good. Now I got another video I got to do when we're done. Give me a second. I'm just looking to see what other news is here. Hegseth and Bondi are rolling into Memphis with their troops. Jesus Christ. Yep, not seeing anything. Nope, not seeing anything else here, guys. Yep. But that intelligence is that's an interesting point. The U.S. has provided Ukraine intelligence to do long-range strikes in Russia. Damn. All right. All right. Oh, this was wild. God damn it. I hate when people do this. Damn it. People like, God, they try to get clicks on Twitter and they don't share the actual original tweet. They share like, a pic. Basically, they don't share the original person's thing. Let me find this. So Gavin Newsom, governor of California. Whoa. Microsoft raising Xbox Game Pass prices by 50%. Woo! Holy shit. Well, I told you, my Microsoft Word is going up. Was it, what the hell was it? It was, going up from $70 to $100. So it's going up 70? Yeah, so 30 out of 70 is 40%, 45%. Microsoft Word's upping the price. Xbox Game Pass, it's the Game Pass. Wow. Yeah, I don't like Google Docs. I've used Google Docs. I mean, it's okay. The problem is I know how to use Excel better. Not Excel. I like Microsoft Word. I could try to switch, but it's like I like it, and I just like using it. I've tried it before. Don't even tell me the alternatives. I've done it for years. I used Open Office. I've used tons of stuff. Life was easier when I got Microsoft Office. So JD Vance is now, so Gavin Newsom is now sharing fake AIs about JD Vance.
I hope, of course, you arrive safely and on time. If you're flying today, I hope, of course, you arrive safely and on time, but you may not arrive on time because the TSA and the air traffic controllers are not getting paid today. Our military is not getting paid today, starting today. And obviously, the longer this drags on, the worse that it is for the American people. He brought her back to Trump Tower. You're flying today. I hope, of course, you arrive safely and on time, but you may not arrive.
That's the Democratic governor of California who just keeps trolling the Trump people. Hold on. Where was his other beautiful thing he did today? Oh, this was one of them he did. He responded to Pete Hegseth, the defense secretary, saying there can be no more facial hair. And he wrote a tweet and says, JD just dance Vance, you've been booted by Pete. Actually, YouTube won't like the music, but I mean, he is doing the craziest stuff here. Hold on, was it a reply? I'm trying to find the other one he did today that was just amazing. Where is the other one? Shoot, there was another one I'm not finding now. Oh, Hegseth says it's not a good look for our military to have overweight people commanding it. Hegseth, it is tiring to look out and see fat troops. Likewise, unexpected to see fat generals leading command. It's a bad look. Newsom writes, I guess the commander-in-chief needs to go. I mean, this is, again, it's a little obnoxious, but unfortunately, this is the world we live in now. Normally, I would say don't do tweets like that normally. But the point is, you are using humor to burst the bubble of a fascist government and a government that is moving towards dictatorship. You have to use humor. You have to keep poking them. You have to keep showing, the emperor has no clothes, basically. Where else? Yeah, I can't find some of the other ones. I should save these as actually, no. Wait, hold on. I've got this. I was going to say, I sent them to my nephew. I think I sent them to my nephew. Hold on. I'm going to look at my conversation with him because I'll probably find it there. Oh, shoot. I've got it on auto delete. Oh, never mind. Not going to find that. Shoot. Yeah, I don't have it. It was on auto delete. Oh, well. There's a couch one, the drone one. Yeah, the drone one was very bad. I probably wouldn't even show the drone one. I mean, it was great, but very bad, but great. But yeah, Trump does not like being made fun of, and Newsom is just. But again, it's not just it's Trump. It's bursting Trump's bubble because Trump hates it and giving Trump a piece of his own medicine or a bit of his own medicine. But it also is it's about fascism. You need to take these guys and laugh. Probably the worst thing we can do is laugh at them. People should, honestly, in addition to booing them, people should probably organize protests and just go laugh at the ICE people. Like literally just laugh at them. They would hate it. Anyway, do I think we'll be a dictatorship next year? We're becoming one. I don't know if we'll be one next year. I don't know how you define it. I think we already are in some ways not quite a democracy anymore. But we're certainly becoming one. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, of course. Former Trump quote from 2011, if there was a shutdown, I think it would be a tremendously negative mark on the president. He's the one who has to get people together. Yeah, exactly. You dance with ICE in Portland? That's good. Will we get to have midterm elections? We don't know. There is serious concern about that. Gavin Newsom, the Democratic governor of California, has said he's concerned that that Trump may not allow presidential elections in 4 years. I mean, 3.5 years. I mean, that's very scary stuff. What is Elon doing about Netflix? Although I will say, have you noticed how Elon's been laying low? I think his board gave him the riot act. He has been laying really low. George III. But what did he say about Netflix? Hmm. Hmm? I can't tell if we have a troll on YouTube because he's so bad that his comments aren't making any sense. Does anybody know? We may have a troll, but it's hard to tell because he's not making any sense. Yeah. Okay, I'm guessing not an English speaker for starters. Yeah. You know, you're a pretty bad troll when people can't even tell if you're a troll. Well, the thing is, like, I mean, but it's too funny when you're like such a bad troll that people can't figure out if you're a troll. It's like your whole point is to troll, you know? I mean, it's like, dude, that was funny. That right, you had one exactly. You had one job. Your job was to troll. Come on, people, some pride, please. Um. Anyway, all right. I'm going to sign off, guys. We're at 7:30. We've been doing an hour and a half. People need to cancel Netflix. Why? Why? What's he upset about with Netflix? What did Netflix do? I love my I love my Netflix. What is Elon upset about? Did he just say something or what? I know troll community needs some standards, you know? Um Elon hey, Elon Netflix. Let's see. Cancel Netflix campaign backed by Elon Musk. Hold on. Repeated calls Wednesday for Netflix subscribers to cancel their membership over comments. The director of a canceled Netflix animated series over comments Hamish Steele, director of a canceled Netflix animated series made about conservative activist Charlie Kirk, with Musk also taking aim at the streaming service's LGBTQ programming and diversity comments. What? Oh God, libs of TikTok, of course. Um, okay. Part of the reason they're boycotting Netflix is Netflix reported that it had increased the number of non-white directors and lead actors on its programs. There you go. They want you to cancel Netflix because Netflix said they actually have more diverse actors and shows now. They don't just have white people in their shows. I mean, it's actually okay if you have black people and Asians and stuff in your shows. That's okay. We don't really cancel you for that. Um, um, Musk reshared a post from another user who said they are canceling Netflix subscriptions because the company employee employed someone who celebrated the murder of Charlie Kirk. I doubt that. And makes content that pushes pro-trans content on my kids. Well, what's the actual truth? Quiet. Okay, not explaining. Hold on. It's also a show that was canceled, so who cares? Hold on. One of the shows features LGBT characters, so that's why they freaked out. Oh, I see, because one of the characters is trans. Dun dun dun. Let's see here. Yeah, what did he actually say though? Yeah, of course they lied. He didn't celebrate Charlie Kirk. But I don't know what he actually said. Can't find out what he. Let's see. What's his name again? Now I want to see what the guy said because, of course, I'm not going to be surprised if it's not anything. Hamish Steele. I'm going to guess it's nothing like people are saying. Again, he celebrated the death. I'm going to guess that's not what happened. But again, fascism needs to do what fascism does. Let's see. All right. Let's see. Are you going to tell us what he said? Come on. Hold on. It's not clear what he even said. Well, we don't know what he said. So kind of hard to do that when we don't know what the guy actually said. Hold on. Stem from an apparent post made by Steele criticizing British Prime Minister Keir Starmer's tweet mourning Kirk's death. Okay. He called him an NZ and a dickhead. That's why. Okay. Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm not, his comments are gray. His comments are gray, though. They're gray. They're gray. Yeah, but it doesn't. I mean, free speech opinion. You could still have people get pissed at you. But the comments are gray. I think they're not 100% bad. They're not 100% good either. They're gray. Anyway, whatever. I'm not going to get into it again. But that's interesting. Okay, was curious about that. All right. When Kim Jong-il died in North Korea, people were punished for not mourning in a sincere way. Well, yeah, we know that sounds familiar. All right, guys, I'm going to go because, like I said, it's been over an hour and half, and we do try to keep the show to an hour 15, and it's gone much longer. So TikTok deal, we don't know. They're still working on the details. Very scary, though. Whatever happens with that, we don't know. All right, I'm going to sign off, guys. So Discord, thank you all. It's just you, JTA, I think. Yep. See you, JTA, on Discord. YouTube, you're next. Bye-bye, YouTube. Thank you. And TikTok, you're next.